It is the loneliest place in the world, that 6-yard box. The moment the whistle blows and the realization settles in that the silence in the away end is entirely your fault. We have all seen the footage by now. We have all felt that sinking feeling in the pit of our stomachs. The first league meeting with Swansea City in 22 years, a match that meant everything to North Wales, decided not by a moment of brilliance, but by a cataclysmic lapse in concentration. The images of Arthur Okonkwo at the final whistle tell the entire story. But while the fans are reeling, the message coming out of the dressing room is defiant. George Dobson has spoken. The gaffer, Phil Parkinson, has made his verdict clear. They say they are going to dust him down. They say the squad is hurting, but united. But in the ruthless environment of the championship, is sympathy enough to save a season that is slowly slipping into dangerous territory?
The context of this era makes it sting so much more than a standard league defeat. Wrexham started the game at the Swansea.com stadium with real intent. We looked solid. We looked like we belonged. Heading into stoppage time at 1-1, a point away at a Welsh rival would have been a badge of honor. But then came that cross. A routine ball for a keeper of Arthur's caliber. The decision to punch rather than catch was the first crack in the armor. But compounding that by dropping the return ball right at the feet of Adam Ida, that is the stuff of nightmares. It handed Swansea a 2-1 victory and left us all staring at the floor. Now, before we go any further into the fallout, I have a major announcement for the channel. As we navigate the choppy waters of the championship, we need more perspectives. We need that raw, unfiltered voice from the stands. So I am very pleased to introduce our new analyst here at MANIA WREXHAM AFC. He's sharp, he's cynical, and he's not afraid to say what everyone else is thinking but is too polite to voice. Welcome to the team, Oliver.
Finally. About time you got someone in here who isn't going to sugarcoat things, Rodrigo. Cheers for the intro. Look, let's get straight into it because I'm fuming. I've been listening to Dobson and Parky trying to wrap Arthur in cotton wool, talking about dusting him down like he's a toddler who grazed his knee on the playground. This isn't the National League anymore. This is the championship. That error, that wasn't just unfortunate, as Dobson called it. That was amateur hour.
You have to admit, Oliver, the conditions were high pressure. It was a derby.
That makes it worse. That is exactly my point. You don't judge a player when we are cruising 3-0 against a relegation candidate at the racecourse. You judge them in the cauldron. 90+ minutes on the clock. Welsh derby. 22 years of waiting. And he literally throws the game away? I understand why Dobson is saying what he's saying. He's the captain type. He has to protect his mate. There's no one hurting more than him, Dobson says. Well, I beg to differ. There are thousands of Wrexham fans who traveled down there, spent their hard-earned money, sang their hearts out, only to have their weekend ruined because our Premier League potential goalkeeper forgot how to use his hands.
But Dobson's comments highlight a unity in the squad. He said, "It's a dressing room that's hurting, but we know as a group that there are certain things we've got to be better at." That suggests collective responsibility, not just pinning it on Arthur.
Collective responsibility is a nice buzzword for the press conference, Rodrigo. But let's be real. The rest of the team did their job to hold that draw. Dobson himself was running his socks off. The certain things we've got to be better at is code for our keeper needs to catch the football. I'm not buying the we are all in this together act when one individual error is that glaring. If we want to survive at this level, we can't be patting people on the back for costing us points. We are sitting 15th now. The slide is happening.
You mentioned the league table, and that is a valid concern. Dropping to 15th does change the complexion of the season. However, we have to look at the wider context of Arthur Okonkwo's time at Wrexham. George Dobson made a point to emphasize this, saying, "I just feel I've got to mention Arthur because he has been fantastic. He really has." And he's right, isn't he? Think about the saves he's made earlier in the season. Think about the clean sheets that got us promoted last year. Does he not have enough credit in the bank to survive one bad afternoon, even if it was a derby?
Credit in the bank doesn't pay the bills today, Rodrigo. Football is a what have you done for me lately business. Yes, he was brilliant last season. Yes, he's had good moments this year. But we are seeing a pattern of jittery moments recently. It's not just this one howler. It's the distribution. It's the command of the area. When Dobson says everyone makes mistakes in football, sure, an outfield player misses a pass, we recover. A striker misses a sitter, it stays 0-0. A keeper drops the ball in stoppage time, it's fatal.
So you think the rally round approach Phil Parkinson is taking is the wrong one?
I think it's the only one Parky can take publicly, but I hope privately he's reading the Ryan Act. If you coddle a player after a mistake like that, you breed mediocrity. You tell the squad that performance standards are optional. I'm worried about the psychological state of Okonkwo now. We've seen keepers crumble after Derby errors. Remember Karius? One bad night can define a career. If Parky just dusts him down and sends him back out without addressing the fundamental loss of focus, we are going to see it happen again. And look at who is breathing down our necks in the table.
It is a delicate balance. Dobson said, "We'll dust him down because that's just how cruel football is." There is an acknowledgement there of the cruelty of the sport. It seems the squad is trying to shield him from the external noise, the noise you are making right now, Oliver, so he can regain his confidence. If they turn on him, we lose our #1 keeper mentally for the rest of the campaign.
Or we realize that maybe we need to be more ruthless. We have Burton on the bench. We have options. I'm not saying drop him immediately, but this automatic starter status needs to be questioned. The fans are hurting. Dobson admitted that. We really wanted to send them home happy, he said. Well, they didn't, and it's because of one man. I appreciate Dobson trying to deflect, calling it an unfortunate moment, but luck had nothing to do with it. It was poor technique and panic. And if he panics against Swansea, what's he going to do when the pressure really ramps up in the relegation scraps?
The pressure is certainly not going away. In fact, the schedule is throwing us straight back into the fire. Wrexham are at home on the 26th of December, Boxing Day, hosting Sheffield United. This is a massive fixture. Sheffield United are just 3 places and 2 points behind us. A loss there, and we are properly dragged into the bottom half mix. Phil Parkinson has stated the whole club will rally behind Okonkwo as we look to get back to winning ways. The racecourse crowd will be vital here.
This is the litmus test, Rodrigo. Forget the rallying quotes. Boxing Day, a packed racecourse. The first time the ball comes into the box, every single heart in that stadium is gonna stop. Can you imagine the tension? If Arthur comes for a cross and flaps at it again, the atmosphere will turn toxic instantly. Sheffield United will know this. They have watched the tape of the Swansea game. They are going to target him. They'll be launching high balls right on top of him, testing his nerve from minute 1.
That is a tactical reality we have to prepare for. Dobson and the backline will need to protect him more than ever. But this idea of dusting down implies getting back on the horse immediately. Parky trusts his players. He has built this team on loyalty and resilience. To drop Arthur now would be a betrayal of that philosophy.
Loyalty is great until it gets you relegated, Rodrigo. I want Arthur to succeed, I really do, but I'm skeptical. This dust-down narrative sounds like we are hoping the problem goes away rather than fixing it. Sheffield United are a serious outfit. They are hungry. They see a wounded animal in Wrexham right now. If Arthur Okonkwo steps out on Boxing Day and looks shaky, Parky needs to be brave enough to make a change at halftime if necessary. We cannot afford to bleed points because of sentimentality. This is the championship. It eats the weak.
It is going to be a fascinating psychological battle as much as a physical one. Dobson claims the team will rally round. We will see if that unity translates to a solid defensive performance. We need a clean sheet. We need stability. And most of all, Arthur Okonkwo needs a quiet afternoon where he does the basics perfectly.
Exactly. I don't want to see world-class saves on Boxing Day. I want to see him catch a simple cross and hold on to it. That's the bar right now. It's set on the floor. Let's see if he can step over it.
Rodrigo, as George Dobson rightly said, is incredibly cruel. It builds heroes over months and tears them down in seconds. Arthur Okonkwo has been a pillar for this football club, a key reason Wrexham finds itself in the second tier of English football. But the memory of football fans is short, and the patience of the championship is even shorter. The error against Swansea was a brutal reminder of the margins we are operating in. The dust down has begun. The support from the dressing room is public and loud. But when Arthur Okonkwo steps onto the turf on Boxing Day against Sheffield United, no amount of quotes from his captain can catch the ball for him. He is on his own in that box. Will he crumble under the weight of the mistake, or will he show the character that Phil Parkinson believes he possesses? We will find out very soon.